Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to talk about the military pension and just how phenomenal it actually is. I think it's likely that most people actually don't understand or know that much about the military pension unless you're from a military family. I, for example, went through officer training school, and prior to even applying to the Air Force, I didn't know what the military pension was. I didn't know that, do 20 years and you'll just collect this paycheck for the rest of your life. And when you think about the pension, if you were to enlist at 18 and retire at 38, you would then be collecting this pension for the rest of your life. In no other industry, no other business, probably no other country in the world can you retire with a pension at 38 years old. Now, you probably can't survive just off that pension alone. We'll get to the numbers in a second, but once again, in today's video, we're going to go over the specifics of how much is the military pension worth, and potentially how much are you walking away from when you don't serve the full 20 years to earn that pension. Okay guys, we're going to go on a really useful website. This is militarypay.defense.gov, and they have a series of calculators. So there's retirement calculators for the blended retirement comparison calculator, the blended retirement calculator, the high three, the final pay, and then these other three that I'm not familiar with. We're going to be doing the blended retirement system calculator because anyone joining active duty military as of 2017, you're automatically in the blended retirement system. We'll do an example of the high three a little bit later because I'm currently still in that system, but if you're new to the military, you're in the blended retirement system, don't worry about it, it's a good thing. I'm very much in support of this new system. Okay, real quick, if you're guard or reserve, the pension for you is a little bit different. You'll earn essentially points that go towards a full retirement. You then can't start collecting until you're 60. However, if you're active duty and you do 20 years, then you get that full pension right away as soon as you decide to get out. For our first example, we're going to do active duty, get started. And we're going to assume that somebody is 18 and they just joined the military. When were you born? July 2001. When did they enter? We're going to say they entered this year in July. They're currently in E2 because they're out of their basic and maybe they're still in tech school, but they could be out of tech school as well. And they're going to do 20 years. So let's select 20, hit continue. Life expectancy, I feel like 85 is a good number. We're going to put TSP withdrawal for 60. This doesn't matter. I'm making this video specifically about the pension. I've made other videos on my channel about the Thrift savings plan, the government TSP. The TSP numbers will be included in this example, but we're going to ignore those. We're focusing just on how much is the pension worth. But obviously, the TSP is an additional benefit towards your retirement calculations. Definitely a good thing, but we're not going to talk about the TSP in this video. So we can leave the rate at 5, the return at 7, and then the withdrawal at 3. You can ignore those. Hit continue. All right, then it shows your career progression. You can retire from the military enlisted as an E6, but you'll most likely be an E7 or higher. Okay, for bonuses and payments, you can ignore that. Just hit continue. Okay, here are our results. And this is a really cool chart. And what you notice here is that this salmon color, that is your career. Now, every year you're going to get probably a 2.75% pay increase, plus you'll get a bump whenever you promote, plus a bump whenever you hit like a 2-year mark, because there's usually a pay jump. So by the time you would leave service, if you were, once again, you joined at 18, did 20 years, in 2038 or 2039, you'd be 38 years old, with your base salary being $104,000. That doesn't count BAH, that doesn't count BAS, doesn't count any kind of other bonuses you might be getting for your career field. And then this purple is your pension. And how it's calculated is it's 2 times the average of your salary over the last 36 months. You would multiply that by your years of service times 0.2. 0.2 is the multiplier. So 20 times 0.2 gets you 0.4. So you're essentially going to collect 40% of whatever the average of your salary, your base salary was the last 3 years worth of service. And yeah, in the year 2040, you'll be collecting $41,000 for that year. Now, $41,000 in the year 2040 is not going to be enough to live on. You're going to have to get another job, and a lot of enlisted people who do 20 and get out do that. That's what you're supposed to do. But what if you go out and you find a job that you really enjoy, you really love, but it doesn't really pay that much? You know, if you find a job as a teacher, for example, and you're only making $45,000 a year or something not good, you then add this pension on top of it and you've almost got a six-figure salary. That's pretty good. A lot of enlisted people then also go into a different government job and then they start working on their second pension. And by the time they turn 60, they're then collecting 2 government pensions. The yellow and the blue is once again the TSP. You can't start collecting that until you're 60. We're just going to ignore that for this video. Once again, I've made videos about the TSP. Don't worry about it. One other thing to notice is that you'll notice the amount you get for the pension goes up every year, and what's happening is there's a cost of living adjustment equal to 2.75%. Now the website is just assuming an average of 2.75. However, the actual cost of living adjustments for inflation every year it's not set. It's not a flat 2.75. It could be higher than that, it could be lower than that, it depends on inflation. But the website just takes an average and they assume it's going to be about 2.75 a year. So we scroll down and this is the magic number. This is why I wanted to make this video for you. And it's because the pension for the numbers that we gave is worth $3.8 million. So once again, to recap, if you were born in July 2001 and enlisted in July 2019, and then did 20 years to get the pension in the blended retirement system and lived to be 85, your pension is worth about $3.8 million. And because this is the way I like to think, I want to know how much of that pension am I earning an hour? If you serve 20 years and then collect a pension for over 40, you can basically say, hey, for every one paycheck I earn in the military, the 1st and the 15th every month, I'm essentially getting 2 paychecks once I'm out when I have the pension. But how much are you earning towards those paychecks in the future? So assume there's 365 days in a year, subtract all the weekends, subtract your leave, it's about 230 days, but maybe you deploy and you're working every day. So we'll say you'll average 250 days worth of work a year, and then you're working an 8-hour day. I know some people work longer than that. I work longer than 8-hour day. But let's say you're not getting paid for breaks, you're not getting paid for your lunch hour, just 8 hours of work a day. Multiply that by 20 years and you get 40,000 work hours. This is the magic number in order to figure out your dollar per hour. So we're going to take 3.8 million for the pension that you earn, divide it by 40,000 hours, and you're earning $95 an hour. So I know a lot of young enlisted people are saying, I don't make that much, you know, in the military. And you don't on paper until, you know, you rank up and hit at least staff sergeant. But you're still earning this pension benefit if you make it to 20 years. And 80% of people in the military don't make it to 20. Only, you know, less than 20% actually do retire and earn a pension. But for those that do, you know, when you feel like your time is being wasted in those early years of your career, just remember that you're still earning about $95 an hour towards your retirement benefits. Another way to think of this is what happens when you leave after doing, for example, a 6-year enlistment. And you can take that total value of the pension that you would earn over a lifetime, and if you do 6, that's about 30% of your career. You just multiply that by 0.3. And if you were to do a 6-year enlistment and then separate from the military, you're walking away from $1.1 million in pension benefits that you've already earned because you've gotten 30% of the way towards your 20. Now, I'm not saying that you should stay in if you feel like the military is not for you, but I know so many people in the military who speak in a way like, oh, if I just got out, I'd be making so much more, or, oh, I don't make a good amount in the military, you know, I wish I was in the private sector because I'd be earning so much more. And I feel like people on active duty especially don't remember the pension benefit if they make it to 20 and what the incredible value it is. Likewise, for enlisted people that make it to 12 years and they just say, I can't take it anymore, I can't do this, I gotta get out, I'm not making enough, you can take then 60% of what your lifetime pension benefits would be, and you're walking away from $2.2 million. Okay guys, we're going to do another example, and we're going to do my specific numbers. How much am I earning for my pension if I make it 20 years? And we're going to use the calculator, but we have to switch it to the high 3 because I stayed in the old system. All right, I was born in May of 1984, and I entered service in April of 2016. I'm currently in O2, and I hope to do 20 years. For the purpose of this video, the TSP contributions don't matter, but I am currently contributing around 20% of my check to the TSP, so we're just going to put that 20% in there even though it doesn't count towards the pension. Okay, here's my career progression. If I were to retire, I'd probably have to make lieutenant colonel. All right, here's my chart. If I were to do 20 years, I'd be getting out in the year 2036, and my base salary close to that time would be $180,000 a year. However, my pension the next year would be about $88,000, which is pretty good. For an officer getting out after 20, it is possible to live on just the pension. I might not need to get another job. And the reason why is because I'm older, and when I get out, I'll be 52. In order to start collecting my TSP, I can do that at 60. So there's really only this 8-year gap where if I have enough savings and if I just live frugally, it's potential that I don't need to get another job. I don't need to work or get a job where I'll have to worry about making a good income. Because as soon as I make it to 60 and I can start withdrawing my TSP, and then obviously when you get to 66, you can start collecting Social Security for full benefits, and I'll be definitely fine after that point. All right, my total pension amount is $4.5 million. And the multiplier for me is actually 2.5. So you take your years of service, 20, and then you multiply that in the high 3 by the average of your salary over the last 36 months, multiplied by 2.5. So 20 times 2.5 would be 50% of my base pay. So once again, crunching the numbers to do the 20 years in the high 3, I live to be 85. My pension is worth about $4.6 million. And once again, you have that magic number of 40,000 work hours over your career. What is 4.6 million divided by 40,000 hours? And I'm earning $115 an hour. Right now, every hour that I'm standing around, responding to emails, doing all the silly stuff that we all do in the military day to day, where we feel like it's a waste of time, I'm actually earning $115 towards my pension benefits. This is separate from all the other benefits like my normal salary, housing allowance, all that stuff. So what if I leave after doing just my minimum commitment? I'm coming up on my 4-year mark. How much am I giving up if at 4 years I just punch and want to get out? And I would be giving up close to $1.1 million. So once again, a lot of my colleagues, other lieutenants who are saying to me, hey, I really want to get out, I could be making so much more in the private sector. I don't think they're thinking about how much they're walking away from, and I don't think they're considering how good the military pension is over a lifetime. Plan it out to 85. If you go work for a private company or you go start your own business, do they have a pension equivalent to the military's benefits? I don't think so. So the purpose of this video was to get people thinking about these numbers and how amazing they are. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave me one down below. If you have any thoughts about the new blended retirement system, I'm still sort of taking in information of what people think. In addition, give this video a thumbs up so the YouTube algorithm knows you liked it, and consider subscribing to my channel. I post weekly about military and finance topics, and I have a lot of other videos that I hope are useful as far as specific numbers, so you can plan out your financial future. And until next time, take care, guys.